Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Today latest news. We're diving into a financial story of colossal scale, one that has been developing largely beneath the surface, yet possesses the power to reshape the international perception of a national currency, the Iraqi Dinar. For the past few weeks, a quiet yet intense wave of activity has been building, originating from sources far beyond the typical retail exchange market. We're talking about reports emanating from major global financial institutions, private high-volume currency buyers, and specialized funds, all signaling an unprecedented surge in demand for the dinar. This intensified activity suggests that something fundamentally significant is in motion, a shift that is being recognized by sophisticated market participants before the general public is even aware of the magnitude of the preparations underway. The observable market indicators have been particularly compelling over the recent short-term period. In the span of just a few days, multiple currency exchange platforms and specialized dealers began registering highly unusual transactional patterns. Their inventory levels of physical Iraqi dinar notes, which typically maintain a stable high volume, started to deplete at an astonishing rate. Some distributors have even reported being entirely sold out of certain denominations, a situation that is virtually unheard of in this segment of the currency market. The sheer volume of dinar being purchased, often in large single-buyer transactions, speaks to a coordinated and intentional acquisition phase by knowledgeable parties who are positioning themselves ahead of a widely anticipated financial transition. Adding to the evidence of accelerating demand is the subtle but noticeable movement within online exchange portals. While public announcements often lag behind internal market mechanics, a meticulous review of online dinar rates has revealed a gradual but steady upward tick in the exchange price, a process happening on an hour-by-hour basis. For individuals closely monitoring currency market behavior, such a sustained and quiet price adjustment is a hallmark signal of deep-seated and explosive demand. It indicates that the surge in buying is not random speculation, but a carefully executed wave of strategic purchasing. This activity serves as a powerful preamble to what many believe will be a major shift in how the dinar is fundamentally valued and utilized on the global stage. The catalyst for this sudden and aggressive rush for the dinar appears to be rooted in a technical yet profoundly impactful announcement from the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, which initially went unnoticed by the broader public. Buried within a routine technical update on the bank's official website was a critical line, a confirmation that Iraq was nearing the final stages of its preparations for integrating with international currency settlement systems. This seemingly bureaucratic detail holds immense weight for experienced financial observers. It is the clearest possible indication that Iraq is laying the groundwork to integrate the dinar fully into the established global financial infrastructure, thereby enabling international banks and investors to conduct transactions with the currency without significant limitations. This single line of technical information acted as the trigger that unleashed the current wave of demand for both long-term dinar holders and astute newcomers. This official signaling from the CBI was the definitive sign that a pivotal, long-awaited moment was rapidly approaching. It shifted the narrative from one of uncertain speculation to one of imminent structural change. The knowledge that the foundational systems are being put into place for global interoperability was enough to galvanize investors who have been waiting on the sidelines for years, prompting them to move swiftly and decisively to secure their positions before the anticipated market recalibration. Further strengthening this dynamic was the recent public rhetoric from Prime Minister Soudani. His remarks on Iraq's transition into a new, robust economic stage, one where the national currency's strength would accurately mirror the country's significant progress and stability, provided the political context to the CBI's technical update. When these two elements, the explicit technical readiness and the high-level political commitment, were aligned, the message became undeniably clear to the financial community. This combination of official statements served as a dual confirmation that the time for preparatory action had arrived, convincing patient observers that the window to act before a major market adjustment was now open and narrowing quickly. The result was a surge in large-scale acquisitions, executed quietly but aggressively. These strategic bulk purchases by well-informed investors created a cascading effect, a dynamic that quickly morphed into a domino effect as other buyers, realizing the implications, scrambled to enter the market. This concerted high-momentum buying is the underlying force driving the current Dinar frenzy. It is a calculated and strategic repositioning by those with an intimate understanding of the imminent changes within the Iraqi financial landscape, distinguishing the current activity from mere speculative chatter and highlighting it as a serious financial development. Simultaneously, subtle but concrete indicators have emerged from the internal operations of global financial giants, including institutions like Chase, Wells Fargo, and HSBC. Reports from bank insiders suggest that placeholder codes for the Iraqi Dinar have begun appearing within their complex internal systems. While this does not imply that public exchange windows are currently open, it is an unmistakable confirmation that these massive banking networks are actively updating their infrastructure to accommodate a new, potentially revalued Dinar rate. This internal systems preparation is a critical, yet historically quiet, precursor to major currency events, as banks must test integration, ensure proper liquidity, and update compliance protocols before any official public announcement. For those seasoned in international finance, the appearance of these internal banking indicators immediately establishes a familiar pattern. This sequence of preparatory measures, from a central bank's technical update to the internal systems readiness of correspondent banks, has been observed in previous major currency transitions worldwide. Its occurrence now provides a powerful, non-public signal that a substantial financial event is not a possibility, but a tangible action on the horizon. This behind-the-scenes activity is viewed by experienced investors as a highly reliable predictor, suggesting that dramatic market movements are increasingly likely to follow. On the ground, the consequences of this institutional buying spree are being felt most acutely by private currency dealers. They are increasingly reporting genuine shortages of physical dinar notes, a problem especially pronounced in the smaller denominations, such as the IQD 5000 and IQD 10,000 notes. Customers are being advised of significant delays, with some dealers warning that new shipments could take weeks to arrive. This scarcity is not merely a logistical bottleneck. It is partially a direct result of the CBI's careful control measures, which are reportedly restricting bulk exports to manage the flow of physical currency into the international market. The central bank's careful control over the physical supply hints at a multifaceted strategic plan, potentially involving a revaluation or a phased shift toward a digital currency system. By preventing the market from being flooded with physical notes ahead of this next major financial phase, the CBI is clearly attempting to manage liquidity and maintain stability during the transition. For individuals currently holding dinar, this environment underscores the sense that the present moment is one of strategic positioning, a period of calm preparation just before a significant, system-wide financial change is formally initiated. Investor behavior currently exhibits a clear division into two distinct camps. The first group consists of long-term quiet holders, individuals who have maintained their dinar for years, deliberately ignoring intermittent market hype. They are now focused on meticulous strategic planning, carefully preparing their holdings and documentation for the inevitable official exchange window. These individuals are not making rushed sales. They are calculating their long-term positions. Their patience has created a foundation of stable, committed holdings that anchors the market's current movements. The second equally impactful group is the aggressive newcomers. These are investors who have recently become aware of the accumulating official signals and are now urgently attempting to acquire dinar before the opportunity potentially diminishes. Often, these new entrants are forming investment pools or executing private, high-volume bulk purchases, a dynamic that is significantly contributing to the accelerated depletion of physical note inventory and the observable upward pressure on price points. The interaction and tension between these two groups, the patient, well-documented insiders and the urgent, aggressive newcomers, is creating an unprecedented level of activity within the dinar market. For all participants, the strategy moving forward must be underpinned by extreme caution and meticulous verification. Current dinar holders are advised to maintain a composed demeanor, avoid reacting to the inevitable cascade of unverified rumors, and, most importantly, ensure that their physical notes are legitimate and impeccably documented. For those contemplating purchases, the emphasis must be on verifying the source of all currency, conducting thorough research, and refusing to be swept up in the high-pressure environment of the moment. During times of heightened financial excitement, Fraudulent activities and scams tend to proliferate, making informed caution absolutely essential to protecting one's financial position. The Central Bank of Iraq has successfully achieved several monumental and often technical milestones that serve as the foundational bedrock for this financial evolution. These include the successful testing of a digital dinar system, effective integration with global platforms like SWIFT, and ensuring the nation's compliance with rigorous international banking and anti-money laundering standards. Critically, the bank has also publicly confirmed that it possesses sufficient currency reserves to support a sustained higher exchange rate. These completed steps are not mere administrative achievements. They are the necessary components that build institutional confidence in the dinar's long-term stability and strength. The rising confidence is evident in the behavior of institutional investors. Beyond the retail buying frenzy, major investment funds, not typically associated with high speculation markets, are visibly increasing their exposure to Iraq, not just in its traditional oil sector, but specifically in banking and currency-linked assets. This significant shift confirms that the dinar event is no longer perceived as a localized or purely speculative phenomenon. It is being treated as a calculated international strategy, with global financial players recognizing Iraq's fundamental economic strengthening and its preparedness for a significant currency adjustment. A key driver of this reevaluation is Iraq's robust economic performance. The nation's oil exports have reached record-sustained levels, which is empowering the government to proactively pay down external debts, while simultaneously pushing forward aggressive plans to diversify its revenue streams. Furthermore, global digital payment providers are already beginning the process of integrating with Iraq's newly modernized financial framework. All of these developments collectively suggest that Iraq is moving past its previous designation as a fragile, developing market and is swiftly emerging as a recognized and capable global economy. This dramatic shift in international perception is fundamentally important, as currency valuation is often a lagging indicator that eventually catches up to economic reality. The dinar, which was once widely dismissed due to decades of instability and sanctions, is now being strategically positioned to become a currency that accurately reflects Iraq's vast resource wealth and burgeoning economic growth. It is this fundamental change in financial reality, and not just pure speculation, that sophisticated investors are sensing and acting upon, fueling the current aggressive scramble for the currency. The current surge in demand is inextricably linked to the forthcoming digital dinar ecosystem. Once this system is fully operational, citizens and international investors will be able to transact using the dinar through seamless digital wallets, mobile applications, and secure international transfers. The capability to link directly with global payment systems will enable Iraq to participate fully in modern cross-border digital transactions. This transition signifies that the dinar will not only serve as a national currency, but will become an integrated, functional component of the global digital financial ecosystem. Regional financial markets have also begun to acknowledge the dinar's rising prominence. Neighboring nations, including key trade partners like Kuwait and the UAE, are reportedly adjusting trade agreements to incorporate direct dinar settlements for commercial transactions. This is a monumental step, as it indicates that the dinar could soon be used directly in regional trade without the necessity of immediate conversion to the US dollar. This move grants Iraq greater economic independence and effectively compels international markets to take the currency's stability and utility seriously, with a growing number of analysts designating the dinar as a crucial emerging currency for the next year. The psychology of the investor is playing a crucial role in the current market dynamics. There is a deeply felt sense that a financial breakout is imminent, a moment where the official exchange numbers could shift dramatically. This isn't baseless anticipation. It's a reaction informed by the predictable patterns observed in previous global currency revaluations and redenominations. Informed investors consistently move ahead of official confirmation, aiming to lock in their positions before the wider market reacts to the news. This vigilance, shared by patient, long-term holders and aggressive strategic newcomers, amplifies the current rush and is responsible for the increasing scarcity of physical notes. The establishment of a fully integrated digital ecosystem represents the next major chapter for the Iraqi dinar. This transition will facilitate real-time tracking, secure mobile transactions, and seamless integration with global banking infrastructure. While physical notes will continue to exist, the vast majority of financial activity will inevitably migrate online once the digital dinar is launched. This change provides a massive leap forward for Iraq's financial independence, and investors who grasp the sheer scale of this digital modernization view it as the pivotal, long-term moment driving the intense activity across both physical and nascent digital dinar markets. Moving forward, transparency and verified communication are paramount. The central bank is expected to release official and detailed announcements outlining the timelines for any exchange windows, official rates, and the rollout of digital adoption. It is critical for all holders and interested parties to strictly adhere to information released through verified, official channels, consciously avoiding the unconfirmed claims and private rumors that inevitably circulate during these periods of high excitement. Making decisions based on conjecture can lead to significant financial setbacks, while an informed, measured approach is the most crucial element for successfully navigating this critical preparation period. While the excitement is palpable, a clear note of caution remains necessary. Any new participants entering the market must fully understand the inherent risks, which include the proliferation of scams, the potential for counterfeit notes, and the constant threat of misinformation. The potent combination of soaring demand and restricted supply creates fertile ground for dishonest actors. Therefore, ensuring verified purchasing protocols, maintaining comprehensive documentation, and grounding every decision in official communications are essential protective measures. History consistently demonstrates that in the face of financial upheaval, those who proceed with meticulous planning are the ones who ultimately reap the most significant rewards. The sheer scale of international institutional attention on the Iraqi dinar is a powerful signal. Top-tier European investment funds, influential Middle Eastern banks, and global hedge funds are all strategically increasing their exposure to Iraqi assets, moving the dinar's positioning from a mere speculative curiosity to a strategic global asset. This level of involvement from major institutional players tends to drastically accelerate market timelines. Once these colossal entities begin to move, the window of opportunity for retail investors to act often shortens rapidly, leading to a swift adjustment in market prices. The foundational public perception of Iraq is undergoing a profound reassessment. No longer viewed solely through the lens of instability, the nation is emerging as a credible and serious financial player, underpinned by stabilized governance, fast-growing oil revenues, and a demonstrably modernized, digital-ready banking infrastructure. This positive reevaluation of Iraq's economic status is the most fundamental, non-speculative driver behind the dinar surge. Investors are now operating under the rational assumption that when official rates are ultimately announced, the market will, for the first time, accurately reflect Iraq's true, considerable economic strength. The alignment of multiple positive indicators, specific political statements, meticulous international banking system preparation, and concrete digital readiness, has created what many are calling a perfect storm. For the first time in many years, nearly every external and internal data point suggests that a major financial event is not only forthcoming, but is being well coordinated and strategically launched. Every detail, from the internal system updates at major banks to the careful restriction of physical note availability, points toward a controlled and imminent financial transformation. Observers across the global financial spectrum are recognizing this quiet buildup, which is now becoming impossible to ignore. This moment is truly historic. The years of deep-seated skepticism that surrounded the dinar are being directly challenged by factual economic and infrastructural realities. Iraq's strong leadership, its fully operational banking infrastructure, and its ability to attract serious global institutional interest are all converging to create a new financial future. The currency that was once dismissed is now commanding serious international attention. Those who maintained their holdings through the years of uncertainty are now focusing on the transformational changes ahead, while new participants are scrambling to secure positions before the inevitable official rollout fundamentally alters the market landscape. As this financial narrative unfolds, preparation is the ultimate determinant of success. All holders and investors must verify their dinar holdings, diligently track only official announcements, and solidify their post-exchange strategy. Whether one's goal is long-term financial growth, portfolio diversification, or simply benefiting from the economic uplift of the nation, Decisive and informed planning now is critical. The current wave of activity is demonstrably more than mere speculation. It is a strategic global positioning for a moment that will redefine the entirety of Iraq's currency landscape for generations. The next few weeks and months are poised to define the long-term trajectory of the Iraqi dinar. The hidden wave has broken the surface, and the world's attention is now firmly fixed on Baghdad. From the largest banks to the strategic adjustment of regional trade agreements and the deep integration of digital systems, all indicators are perfectly aligned. Investors, holders, and observers must remain grounded, prioritize verified data above all else, and understand that this is a truly strategic, epochal moment. Patience, meticulous preparation, and acute awareness will ultimately determine who benefits most from what many are already calling one of the most significant financial events of the decade. We are bearing witness to financial history in real time. The visible frenzy, the quiet institutional preparation, and the dramatic global interest are not random market noise. They are powerful coordinated signals. Iraq is decisively stepping onto the international financial stage, and the dinar is positioned to become a true reflection of the country's immense economic strength. Every strategic purchase, every confirmed system update, and every policy move is part of a much larger cohesive picture. This is no longer just about speculation. It is the unfolding of a carefully timed financial transition that will write Iraq's economic story for the years to come. Stay informed, remain patient, and remember that profound opportunity favors those who are ready. The hidden wave has arrived, and the dinar surge is the definitive signal of a major global financial realignment.